Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the podcast series, Advanced Partners. So today, we're going to deep dive into this. And what this podcast is all about is trends and topics in 24 that we need to embrace. And I'm here with a good friend and our guest, Amy. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Richard. I'm so grateful to be here today. Thanks for having me on this podcast.
For sure. Okay, so before we even introduce yourself and talk about you, I did a little bit of research. So we're talking about relationships today, Amy. But I mean, seriously, 4 children. I don't know how you did it. 16 years of paychecks, and you coach basketball and cheerleading. So explain a little bit about your personal life and your relationship with that, because my mom had 3 boys and my dad, and that was enough for anybody. So how do you do it?
Yeah, 3 boys is enough for anybody. I can attest to that. I do. I have 3 boys and a daughter. And they're darling, right? Like most people would say about their children. We're a very active, very busy family. I truly enjoy being a wife and a working mother. And yes, I've been with Paychecks for 16 years. I have built a lovely career here. It has been just a true blessing to be part of this company and to have found Advanced Partners as well throughout this journey. I've spent my entire career focused on customer service, change management, process improvement, but recently really been focusing on our client experience. And that's what brought me here to Advanced Partners.
I love it. So tell me, 16 years of Paychecks, how did the transition go? Because everybody wants to know that.
Everyone wants to know. Yeah. So, growing up in the service world of Paychecks, I've spent a lot of different times learning 401k and Section 125 and our payroll offerings. And recently moved over to Advanced Partners to help lead and guide our client experience and developing a team, which is our strategic relationship managers. And when I started to learn a little bit more about this and the culture that Advanced Partners has and the family atmosphere that they have, it was an easy move. The transition has been really smooth. The team is wonderful and dynamic, and we'll get into all of that and the individuals that work for me as we go on. But yeah, it was a great move for me at this time in my career.
I can tell. Look at you, full of energy all the time. So one thing I really want to talk about is the client relationship we're going to talk about today. That, there's right now, clients, it's hard to get clients. And when you do get one, you want to stay with them and be positive the whole time. Yeah. So let's just deep dive into this. I'm going to throw this chart up real quick, and then we're just going to deep dive into your program here.
Yeah, and building those customer relationships. It is so important to our business and what we do today. We're really focused on being like a trusted and reliable partner. When I talk about those individuals that are on this team, they've been with the company. They have so much tenure. We have 20 plus years of tenure here, and they do what they say they're going to do, right? Like that's an age old thing to say, right? But it really matters when they're doing it every single day, and they know this business. They've spent so much time knowing all the inner workings and working in different teams over those years that they can be consultative and they can take the time to know and understand our clients' goals and what they want to do. And to be able to help build that up. And at the end of the day, we want to have an environment that's focused on innovative solutions and what we can do to help our clients in our ever-growing technology-infused space, right? So that's exactly what we're spending our time doing and understanding what our clients need from us.
That is awesome. So let's rewind here. So this was an idea that turned into a program. You got to tell everybody out there how this came about.
Yeah, so it was an idea that was launched before I even came onto this team, and really just trying to focus on that client experience and what do our clients need? What do they have to say? And it really started to come together when we started to collect some data behind what do our clients need? What are they saying about us? What are we doing that's working and that's going well? And what are some of those things that we can improve upon? And then taking that data and bringing it back to our internal teams and looking for the opportunity for that process improvement or to, make some shifts or changes. No 2 of our clients are alike. So sometimes we have to customize that, and that's okay too, but it's just making sure that we're staying consistent in the work that we're doing.
So the big thing is, we know client relationship. We talk about it all the time, but the actions speak louder than words. We know that 100%. So take us step by step. You meet a new client there. What goes on behind the scenes so you can build this relationship?
Yeah. So, and anytime you're building a relationship, you need to get started right away, right? knowing, understanding their business. What is their business all about, and what are some of their goals? And so when you dive into those goals, you start to develop a strategy, right? And jokingly could say that nothing is strategic without that strategy first, right? We have you gotta map out that relationship and understand how you're going to work together. And a lot of that comes with matching up the right personalities too. So the right people for the right clients, so that the communication flows easily. You need to stay in touch early and often throughout the process. So that's really important to making this happen as well. And then, like I said, tracking, like making sure that you understand and have data behind what it is that we're doing. The good, the bad, all the things in between. You need to know those things, and then you need to take action. And that's the biggest part about it. It's being able to take action on the work that needs to be done. And sometimes that's just bridging gaps internally to make sure that those things are happening. And you can count on, my team and myself to be able to do that for our client.
100%. And you know what I love about this? It's teamwork. We all know this, with me being on the recruiting staffing side, when you meet somebody at the end of the day, you know what, you have to collaborate together, and you have to understand them. Let's deep dive into that understanding, because I think that's a big thing with relationships, is learning what they need and providing that for them.
Yeah. So I talked a little bit about, the technology and what our clients need in the space, in the staffing space. They need, help in their back offices. They need, especially when they're trying to ramp up new hires or new customers. And they need to be able to have the financial support, which we're able to do that. They need strategic planning. And sometimes they need to be able to help to understand, maybe they need help with VMSs or MSPs, POs, workers' comp, any of those things. We start to partner internally and with our partners that we have with advanced partners, and making sure that they are staying well connected. So just step by step, really understanding what it is that they need to run their business, and we bridge those gaps for them. And like I said, I mentioned that being consultative, that's really important, to sit down and have those conversations. I think I mentioned before, sometimes they're lengthy, long phone conversations. Sometimes we meet our clients in person and face to face, and we sit down and map it out. Sometimes they come to see us. We tailor that so that it works for all the individual parties, and make sure that we all have a good understanding of what needs to happen, and fostering the right environment for each of our clients.
Well said. And you know what? Planning, it always changes too. Correct me or not, but you plan something now in January, we might have to shift gears in June. Do you see that a lot?
Yeah, that often happens, and that's okay. With any business, sometimes there's bumps in the road, right? And sometimes it's unpredictable, and there isn't anything that any one party can do to change that. We kind of just roll with whatever comes our way. And like I said, seeking out, other partners or focusing internally. We love to have what we call our internal huddles to discuss and deep dive on what it is that we can do to help one of our clients, or just to help each other, right? To get through some of the work or the volume that we see coming in. Teamwork is what makes the dream work, right?
I love it. And you know what? You summed it up. Communication is the number one thing. Seriously, to communicate internal with you guys there at Advanced Partners, to communicate, to get it out to the clients what they need, the product, at the end of the day. And one thing I will say is, knowing you guys, it's a family. I mean, seriously, I think every client should be part of your family. I mean, they can call you aunt, uncle, whatever. We joke about that, but it should be where you should never fear to ask a question or something like that. You got to be on that relationship building project there. So real quick here. So how do you keep an open mind? Because me being in the industry for 10 years, I see so many different consultants. This is the way to do it, and that's it. I love what you said there. How do you keep an open mind with your team to cater to the clients?
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any one right way to do anything, right? Like I said, no two clients of ours are alike. So you have to go into each of the conversation with an open mind. You could maybe, come already pre-planned suggestions, but that always, that just based on how the conversation rolls, could change on a dime, and that's okay. I think that we just have to be open to being okay with whatever it is that the client has going on, with what we need to make it happen too, but being forthcoming about what it is that is happening within the business. And being transparent. I really really think it's important to be transparent. If something is broken, it's not working, or it's ugly, it's okay. It's ugly, right?
Exactly.
Well, what can we do to fix it? And that's what we have to move forward on. And I think that that's perfectly okay to do that. As long as all parties are in agreement, I think it's all right to make changes if we need to, and keep moving forward.
Okay, so here we're going to shift gears here. So, what are you seeing out there? The trend right now in we just started 2024. Already 2 months. Man, it's flying by. 3 months before you know it.
Yeah, I know.
It is, man. Spring's coming. I hear birds right outside here, outside my studio. I'm like, yes, it's coming here. But long story short, so what are you seeing with the clients out there that they need when they reach out to you guys, and you want to build that relationship with it? Do you see any certain needs that they are looking for right now?
Urgency. I think it's urgency is a lot of what happens. People want answers relatively quickly. And for us, if we need to make a decision, or if they need to make a decision, it's people are genuinely anxious about, having to move forward. If you have something on your plate and you're like most, you want to check those things off your list. So we see a lot of that. I also think that, I think it was Jeremy who had mentioned, the job creation was stronger than expected in January. I think we'll probably see that again as we close the month of February and into the spring. That's great. That's great for our clients. That's great for industry. We want to continue to move on with that trend, so whatever we can do to help continue to foster that, we certainly want to be able to do that. And yeah, I think that's probably the biggest. We want to be able to be, able to help with those urgent needs that come about and do them as timely as possible.
And one thing I got to talk about is be positive. That's all my keynotes here. I'm positive all the time, and you are too. We hear so much negative stuff in the news, in staffing, and everything like that. How do you get a client and they are so negative and you have to turn them into a positive? Have you ever seen that?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, they're not always calling us because they're super happy about things that are going on, right? No news is good news, but I think it's listening. I think it's so important just to be able to listen. And we're not looking at, and my team isn't reviewed on how long it's taking to get through any of the work that it is that they're doing. You really need to listen to what the client's needs are again. And that's about you do that from the beginning when you're setting goals. But like you said, if something, they have a bump in the road, you need to listen and understand what is happening and taking the time to do that, and then following up with what I mentioned before, doing what you say we're going to do. If we're taking away and we have something that needs to be action from listening, we need to do that. We need to do it timely.
100%. Broken promises is probably one of the worst things ever for a client or a candidate or anybody in general. I mean,
yeah,
we got to talk about this. This stuff we're talking about relationships. This is with your personal life and professional life. It's almost identical, really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I truly believe that. When you think about, and I actually was thinking about when coming onto this podcast, and when you think really about what is a strategic relationship or strategic partner, we all have them in our lives, right? It's people that you count on, right? It's the people that you count on. And I'm so grateful for myself and my team to be those people for our clients, but you need that in your life all around, right? Those strategic relationships are what help is going to, you and your life to be successful. So why wouldn't you want that in your business life too, right? And to make sure that you're finding those right partners to, help guide you and help you to be successful.
The key is giving equals growth, right? I mean, seriously, it's all about giving, and then everything else will grow. So, okay, so let's shift gears again to real life stories. I got to hear some of these stories. I mean, if you have one or two stories here, you can throw out to everybody out there in the audience that that you experienced, that maybe they are going to experience right now or in the future, that you could help them with.
Yeah. I think one thing that comes to mind of recently, a lot of what we do is networking, right? So we network and we meet with our clients and our teams connect, but we have the opportunity to do what we call, teaming of our clients together. So in networking them and bringing them together for what they need to help their businesses grow. And I recently watched a member of my team do this really successfully with a client of ours who reached out, wanted to, had some interest. I'm looking for, a particular client that might be interested in helping me in these two particular states. We need, boots on the ground kind of thing. And who can we work with to be able to make that happen? And she, went through our system, knew exactly where to look, that data collection helps, right? And to be able to do that, took the time, reached out to a number of clients saying, we have a teaming opportunity. We have somebody who might be able to benefit from what you have to offer. Connected them together, and to watch it, sit back and watch that happen, and these clients make the connection and have really good conversations, educating each other at the same time, and communicating to the fullest to, get people the jobs that they, that are out there, and to get people hired, and for that to work, and see multiple businesses do that together. It was really satisfying to watch from the other side, right? And that's what it's all about. Like, when you leave at the end of the day and you see like that, we made that connection, and that's helping, it's awesome, right? It's like,
oh, it's more than awesome. I tell you what, don't you get like butterflies in your, like, seriously, anytime I can help somebody, I always say, when you help somebody, it's more gratification than it is you helping somebody helping you. Seriously, it's like so much excitement.
Yeah. Anytime we've had the opportunity to watch our businesses grow to the point where they can sell their business, or maybe they can acquire new business, right? That's how we know we've been successful. Like, and that is, so important to us to see, a handful of our clients throughout the years, or 25 years in business, that have been able to do that, and, be bountiful because of that. That's awesome. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to be able to do.
So I got to ask you, in the industry, this is a throw-out question here. Do you see there's a lot of disconnect? On my end, I see sometimes what you're talking about is great, but I see so many other companies are disconnected because of what's going on. Do you see any way that they can connect? I mean, we got all this great positive stuff that we're talking about today. Is there anything extra that they can add to maybe build their client relationship? I'm hearing on the streets, the follow-up's the number one thing. Nobody ever follows up. They get the contract, they get the money, and they forget about the client. The client calls them, has to call them 6 or 7 times before they get a hold of them. That's not a good relationship.
No, it's definitely not a good relationship. And I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's like it's staying connected, like get connected early, and then often, right? Anytime we have the opportunity to be proactive and to reach out to our clients for something that we're seeing that might be coming down their pipeline, we want to be able to do that. And then absolutely the follow-up, that is key to the success of anything. And that's just being reliable, right? And that's what we just started off with, being trusted, reliable to do those things, and to get the job done. But the best part about this is that we do that. We regularly reach out just to say, how are you doing? And this team also works to, like you said, a family to our clients as well. We know what's going on in some of our clients' lives. We, celebrate their wins. We're there if there's, a time of need. That's really important to us. And we really want to continue to foster that environment as much as possible.
I think you summed it up. Don't let the spark ever go away. Just like in personal life, right? You got to have that spark with your client at all times.
True. Yeah. Yeah. We intend to keep it like that. Yeah. And I think, when we look at this, and one of the things for me to help measure our success is to look to see how, what our clients, what do they have to say about us? We survey our clients. We want to know what they think. And, we look for what we call a net promoter score. Most businesses have that, right? You want to know. I'm proud to say that Advanced Partners has a net promoter score of 74, which is right. Impressive. That's definitely where we want to be. If you were to look at any of our, the financial services that are out there, like you're not going to see that. Maybe half, but I'd like to say that it's a huge kudos to the work that we're doing to be able to have a score like that. And we take pride in that. We also look, our clients like to leave reviews. I like to leave reviews, right? When something's going really well, you like to share that out. And then, on the flip side of that as well, when it's not, but we look at our Google reviews. We have nearly 100 Google reviews that are out there today, with a 4.8 out of 5 stars.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about reviews? So many companies I deal with, it's hard for getting people to get reviews. If you're getting reviews, that means you're making an impact.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. People are going out there to share the good things. And that's really exciting. And again, a testament to the hard work and the things that we, the time that we have put into getting to where we are today, and, we're not perfect, but we certainly are pushing towards achieving that each and every day, putting our best foot forward to be able to do that. And it's an exciting time.
Okay, so touch points. I want to talk about this real quick before we wrap things up. So relationships, when you touch points with your clients, is there like you touch point like every week? If you don't hear from them, if they don't need anything, is there a certain limit of touch points or should you wait a couple of weeks? What is your insight on that?
Yeah, I think that is something that needs to be established up front, right? So when you're building that relationship and you're starting to work together, what makes sense? Like, there are clients out there who don't want to be bothered, right? Like, don't call me every day. I don't want to hear from you every day. But then there's some that do. So it's asking and understanding what it is that they're expecting from this relationship with us as well. We do have some guidelines for, a typical cadence, but we do often look to, at a minimum, connect with our clients, on a WebEx call monthly. We have clients who like to do it weekly, so we kind of give them the opportunity, what works for them. But certainly if we go any certain period of time without hearing from our clients, you better believe we're reaching out. We want to know how they're doing. We want to make sure that things are going smoothly. And that's just a friendly email, a friendly phone call from somebody on my team that just says, how's things going, but yeah, we definitely keep track of the number of times that we're reaching out to our clients, and we want to be involved. It's keeping us.
And what's funny is some of the clients might want you to email them, some want you to text them or whatever. I guess in your initial meeting, how do you want me to communicate with you? Because there's so many different ways now.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely ask that. Like I said, there are some clients who will talk on the phone with us for hours. Some want a quick email. They just want an update, just send me, they want 3 words. It's done and we're good, right? Like, and then there's some who want to know, all the inner workings of how we got to where we got to, and that's okay too. So that we just tailor that experience based on what our clients are looking for. And I think that that's the magic of what we're trying to do here, and really just being, that strong partner to our clients.
I love it. And you know what? We got to talk about this real quick. The in-person, like when you guys have events and stuff like that, tell me what the client's feedback is on that, because I'm a firm believer when you have an event and you're in person, man, that's where the relationship really rocks to the next level.
Yeah, it certainly does. Anytime we have an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with our clients and sit down for dinner or out at an event, wherever that might be, we definitely embrace that. Like the clients, their feedback is genuinely really good, but they tell us how they feel, and that's perfectly fine. We want to hear that. We just want to look to improve wherever we can. But a lot of times it's just a good opportunity for us to continue to foster a really great relationship. And that's what we look to be doing.
And I think you guys do an excellent job with that. So, okay, Amy, so I'm surprising you with this. Is this when you relax?
Of course you have that picture. That is.
So tell me about that. Seriously, you love to read. We want to get to know you a little bit better. So when did you have time with that? With all your kids running around, when did you have time to read a book?
Oh, I read lots of books, Richard. That is my escape. So I won't say I'm reading anything that's of great education and helping me to succeed in business, but I like to take the time with this organized, chaotic life that I have. I like to take a little downtime, and if you'd ask my husband what I'm doing, he'd say she's off reading someplace. Is most likely what you're gonna find. A book, my phone in hand. I love my Kindle app. That's my thing. But yeah, I definitely like to take the time to do that.
Hey, we all have to have work-life balance, right? Whatever makes it tick for you.
Of course, yeah.
So any final thoughts before we wrap this up? Anything else you want to get out to the audience about relationships before we get out of here?
Build them, right? Build the relationships with your clients. Take the time to know and understand. Know what, makes your clients tick, what their goals are. Embrace what they have to say. That is the biggest piece that I can say that you'd want to take away from any of this, and what I continue to foster with my team, and listen. So that'll help.
Listen. That's the key word, right? The L word.
Yeah. The good L word, Richard.
So where can everybody reach you at, Amy? I know you're on LinkedIn and all that stuff. So we have the phone number below if they need to reach out to you guys to start the relationship process. But where else can they reach you? What platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on LinkedIn for sure. You can call the Advanced Partners number and reach out to me. And I'd be happy to engage in a conversation and see what we can do to help.
I love it. And before we go, I got to reach out and give a shout out to our family over here at Advanced Partners. They put the fun in funding. If you need funding, you need to call Advanced Partners. There you go with my spiel all the time, Amy. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. If you guys get a chance, reach out to Amy and her team there. The relationship building they have is top notch. And I can't wait to see you in person sometime, Amy.
I can't wait either. Thank you so much, Richard. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take care.
That's a wrap for the podcast series. We'll see you next time. I think in another month on another great series. Take care, guys. We'll see you.
Bye.